Welcome back to the Flesh and Blood TCG channel. My name's Alex, and I'm excited to introduce to you the Gem Deck Builder. It's a powerful new tool that's going to make building and submitting deck lists easier than ever. Let's walk through it. Okay, step one is log into your Gem account, and then head over to this new tab, Deck Lists here. You'll see My Decks, where you can search for any decks that you've already created. And then what we're going to do here is just create a new deck. Now, I want to play in a Classic Constructed tournament. I'm going to name my deck list my new deck list. All right, enough of that. Here, I'm going to select new. Now, you'll note that if I change the deck type, so we've got Classic Constructed, Living Legend, Blitz, Common, Ultimate, Pit Fight. If I change it to Blitz, it's going to take my hero away from me because obviously I can't play that adult hero in Blitz. So now when I come back to the drop-down, it's got the young heroes. So if this was a Blitz deck, I could just choose no. Now, that's great, right? Let's say I want to go back to Classic Constructed. You're going to see the same thing happen here. I'm going to choose no. Now, here I can actually build the deck list using this little feature here. So let's just search for a card, Beckoning, and we should get Beckoning Mistblade come up. So I want 2 of those in my deck. And now you'll see I have 2 Beckoning Mistblades. And like any deck building tool like Fabrary, you can go through and search your cards and add them in. Now, once I save this, it's going to see that my hero is here, and now my actual hero is going to pop up in my arena card. So this will happen once you actually save the deck list. So from here, you can just add whichever sort of cards you want. Let's go just a neck. Cool. I want 3 of those. And yeah, now we've got them here in our deck card. So it's pretty simple. One thing to note is that this is a beta version of this software, so there's currently no validation control for the amount of cards that you can have in your deck. So it really, just like any paper deck lists, it's on you to actually put the correct amount of cards that you want in there, because, as nice as it would be to run 6 Justin Nicks, that's obviously not legal. So make sure that however many you're putting in there is the correct amount for how many you want. It's still going to get deck checked and looked at like any other deck list that you would usually do, but now it's all digital, so it's a lot easier. Now there's a really, really simple way to do this, which is using the import from Fabrary feature. We all know that you guys all use Fabrary, right? Everyone's got their deck list on Fabrary, and if you like net decking like me, it's super easy. So I don't know if I'm like quite good enough at Flesh and Blood or playing new to be able to build a deck list myself, so I think I'm just gonna take Michael Hamilton's new deck list, and let's go have a look. So now we're in Fabrary, and I've just gone into public decks, and looked at the recent tournaments, and I've seen Michael Hamilton's new deck right here, and I think I like the look of this. I think I'll play this exact deck actually. So what I can do is I can either just copy the URL right up here, or you can do this little bit over here and say copy deck link to clipboard. So I'll do that. It says it's copied. Brilliant. And now what we'll do is we'll go back into here. We'll click import from Fabrary, and we'll go paste, import, and here we go, 80 cards. Everything looks great, and that's that. Now that I've got my deck list and I'm happy with it, I'm going to click save to make sure that I save the deck, and then we're going to submit it to a tournament. Let's go back into deck lists, and you'll see here it is, my new Classic Constructed deck, last updated on March 27th, so you can see when the last time you actually updated it was. Make sure that's the correct version of the deck you want to use. Now, if I've got a bunch of decks, obviously I can use the search function here to search through them, find them, filter by Classic Constructed, different formats, all that sort of stuff. What I'm going to do is go to my profile. I'm going to join an event. Let's go and find that. I've got my identifier here, Juicy Kakapo, and here it is, the event. It's a Classic Constructed Armory event. Let's join that. Brilliant. So now we're back in, and you'll see here that deck lists are actually required. This one is due on March 29th at 11 a.m. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a deck. Right here, I'll click new from my decks, and I will click submit. And that is that. It's pretty easy. We click done here. We can see that I've submitted my deck here on March 28th. It's all validated. You've got your confirmation right there. And now we're all good to go. It really is as simple as that. Now, let's say I want to change my deck that I've submitted. How would we do this? Let's go have a look. Back to deck lists. Let's create a new deck. Let's make this one Zen. This time, just to show you guys that this does work as well, let's just copy the URL, and we'll come back in here, import from Fabrary, and whack that little link in. Bang. There we go. There's our deck list. Now, there is a feature in here where if you don't have the minimum 60 cards in your deck, it's not going to let you submit that deck. So that is something to be wary of, but I should hope that you guys all have at least 60 cards in your deck when you're building this. But here we go. We've got our Zen deck, and it's looking good. I'm going to save that. Now, you'll actually notice something different when I'm building the deck list here. Because I'm now enrolled in a tournament, there's an option here that says submit to tournament. So I can actually just choose test of strength right here, and then submit my classic constructed deck, and it says that it's been submitted. Let's go check that out in the dashboard. And if I go back here, here it is. Here's my event, Zen Tamer of Purpose. It's been submitted, and yeah, all good to go. So if you ever want to change it, you know, if you've got a few different versions, maybe name them specifically so you can figure out which one it is that you want to use. But super easy to just switch out your deck. As long as you do it before the deadline for submissions, you should be all good to go. Okay, now something to note is, let's say you've submitted your deck list and you want to make some changes to it. Let's go back into our deck list section here. Let's look at Zen, and let's view this one. Now, actually, I don't want to run quick dodge flexes. Let's say I'm going to get rid of that. And I feel like, you know what, I'm going to get rid of breed angers. I don't want any of those. Okay, so now you'll see I've got 77 cards here. Not 80. It's still fine. This is not going to be visible to the tournament organizer until I resubmit it. So even if I go save this deck, now this deck is saved. This is my new version of this Zen deck, but I have submitted an older version to the tournament. So I'm going to have to resubmit it to the tournament organizer for them to see that new version of the deck. So make sure that, you know, this is how you can sort of check and validate this. You go back to your dashboard, and then you see, okay, yep, this is the last time I submitted it. It is now a different time. I've updated my deck. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to select Zen, and I'm going to submit it again. And it says here it's been submitted successfully. So we can now see it's updated, and this should have submitted the new version of the deck list that we've created. So make sure if you are going to make changes to your deck list that you resubmit it to the tournament beforehand. Even if you save the deck, it's not going to do that for you. You need to resubmit it. And that's the new Gem Deck Builder software. We hope that you find this useful. And if you want to give us any feedback about it, or if you find any issues, please do through the feedback link that we'll have in the article for this tool on the FABTCG website. We'll also put that in the description of this video. Until then, enjoy using the new tool. We're saving a lot of paper with this, making everyone's life a lot easier. So we're super excited to roll this out and have you all enjoying it for future tournaments to come. We'll see you at the next one.